now in your town, channel 4, 5, 7, 9, whatever it is, when they switched over to digital a couple of years ago, they are now adding a component within that digital bandwidth optimized for the mobile handset. And here's some examples of it could be your smartphone, it could be your, in the lower left-hand corner there, we've got an iPad with a special antenna dongle on it, so you can actually pick up the local broadcast TV station, which may be showing the same thing you're familiar with on at the 5 o'clock news or the 7 o'clock news or the Jay Leno show or whatever, or it could be some additional content that's being created by a number of groups specifically for this mobile delivery system. This is very early. They've just completed a positive test on the East Coast. They're now going to go into a national rollout, and again, you'll see products from Samsung, from LG, and all the big manufacturers, Dell and many others, are developing devices that can receive local TV. I think it's important for the audience we're looking at here is that we're all familiar with our local broadcast TV stations, and this is a very easy way to get them when you're on the go. The question is how this will compete with other video delivery systems into your mobile handset or mobile device, and more importantly, even though it's free, should be free TV, whether it's worth the effort and expense at any level for audiences to go after that. We can talk about that a little more during the Q&A if you're interested. Clearly, the most important new product at this show this year are the 80 companies that have new tablet computers. This is a whole new category. It's one that really got a boost. What a great start last spring with the iPad. But now you've got devices from Motorola is coming out with something called Zoom, X-O-O-M. You've got products from Dell, from Samsung, many, many others, companies we've never heard of. It's got one of those attributes we all wonder why you have it. What's pocketability? We never heard that idea of pocketability. It's larger than a cell phone or smartphone, smaller than a netbook. If you got a big pocket that fits into it, the prices, the great part about so many competitors, the prices will be accessible, and this, again, creates the mobile approach to having the information, entertainment, access to services, net services wherever you are. And I think the apps are really what's going to make this happen. Finally, one of the categories I've been spending a lot of time with, and there's an awful lot of material here on gesture control. How many of you have a Kinect or bought a Kinect for someone in the family for Christmas? So you know what this is. You just move your hands. You've just done what Kinect requires you to do to control the video game. And there's another variation of this called haptic control, which is actually what you do on your touch screen, your iPhone or your Android phone. You touch a screen and just your finger, I call it the flick of a finger, the wave of an arm, and you really are controlling the devices. This is very intuitive. It sure raises problems with anybody who has any kind of a physical impairment, and yet many, many options and applications are being developed for these products. I think it's going to be a benefit. It's very intuitive once you learn to do it because you've known how to wave your hand since you were an infant. And these kind of things, as long as you can control it, takes a few minutes sometimes to learn how far to go, but how far to push your hand to make certain things happen. But I think these are the kinds of things that make life very, very interesting, and the opportunity is going to be very affordable. The success of the Nintendo Wii, which is really the first mass product that did this kind of with a wand, which is in the lower right-hand corner there, for sports activities, or physical fitness activities, raises the flag that this really is a very, very important and interesting option that we should be paying some attention to. So I'll be glad to go through some more detail, but you at least get a feel for what I've been looking at as some of the things to look for while you're on the show floor, as well as some of the things to look for that'll be part of the user interface and the user experience going forward in digital electronics. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. We will go into some of these things in a Q&A session after every presenter presented his presentation. The next person is Maury Slovick. Maury is the editorial director of Intelligent TechContent. He was a former journalist and editor-in-chief and editorial director of Hearst Communications. And before, I think he was also the editor-in-chief of IEEE Spectrum. All right, so Maury is going to tell us the good and the bad and ugly, or actually the good and bad in between of stuff he discovered at the show floor and through his research on various electronics products. Thanks.
Thank you, Junko.
Okay, thank you, Junko. I'm going to be talking about some of the, she mentioned some of the specific products that I saw on the show floor that are designed to address this audience. By and large, what I found are a lot of products that kind of are made so that we can protect us from ourselves. And if you just look around the room at the ads here, you'll see it dispensing medication and that sort of thing. I didn't see anything along the lines of easy-to-read altimeter, so that if you're skydiving, you can easily look and see what altitude you're at before pulling the ripcord. That, despite the fact of the movie Bucket List, which, from my experience, a lot of silver senior people and even people in their 50s, having seen that movie, said to themselves, hey, wait a second, I'm not going to wait until I have a fatal disease to start living life. I'm going to really be living it. You don't see the marketers reacting quite to that yet, even though I think, especially with regard to boomers who are going to go out kicking and screaming, there's more of a market for products you wouldn't think would be aimed at the silver market, but really are. Okay. This is many of us, and Junko was giving us an actual visual description of changing glasses. Glasses that you need for reading as opposed to glasses that you just walk around with. Many of us, including myself, wear progressive glasses or bifocals. This is from a company called, these are M-Power from Pixel Optics. This is and it's here at the show. These are the first electronically focusing glasses. Basically, what's happening here is that you can either automatically or with a push of a button change the focus of the glasses for near versus far. And how it does this is that there's a liquid crystal material inside of the glass, and when that liquid crystal material receives an electric current, it changes in such a way so that the index of refraction of the glasses themselves change. Now, maybe a way of explaining this is electronically it's doing the same thing that if you physically change the curvature of the glasses, you would then change the prescription. This isn't physically doing it, it's electronically doing it. Another similar way to think about it is we all recall, radars circulating. Radar doesn't do that anymore. It does it electronically. It's a phase array. So they're using electronics here to try to reach our audience so that we don't have to have multiple pairs of glasses with us. Now, it needs improvement, but it's heading in the right direction. And there's one other very clever thing that they've done here. They've recognized that when you're reading, you're generally bowing your head, and especially if you wear, progressives or bifocals, you're trying to get to that area on the bottom of the glasses that's specifically prescribed for reading. Well, recognizing that that's what people do when they want to read, they've put an accelerometer in this thing in the same way that the Wii that was mentioned by Gary has an accelerometer when you wave it around. So the glasses know when your head's going down and automatically shift into reading focus mode, which is a really very clever thing. These are expensive. They're like $1,200 when they come out in April. And as I say, they don't, I've tried them, they don't work perfectly, but it's the sort of thing you want to say, you want to pat them on the back and say, you guys are heading in the right direction with this. Okay, staying with glasses and not being quite as complimentary. Samsung had what on the face of it looks like a great idea. They make 3D television, and you need to wear, for their active shutter LCD 3D screens, you have to put glasses on. And if you wear